Hello, Likers. Welcome back to our channel. It's me, your favorite one and only, your baby girl, Malika. So, Likers, we are doing the critical review of Mr. Aloy series, When Marriage Becomes a Nightmare, episode 42, the final part. It starts with Jonathan realizing that things are not the way it seems, and Benny is very worried. Yes, Benny is worried because she knows how her father can be clumsy. Benny, she's a child, but she's a very intelligent little girl, you know. So she knows that something like this has happened before because her father before opened the business and it didn't work, he was duped. So she's scared that they think their biggest fear might have happened. Sorry, like, cause my neighbor is a welder is welding, so Benny is really worried. She's worried about her dad. So the next thing shows Jonathan that went upstairs. He is worried, he is petrified. He doesn't expect, he's begging God, like, when you've made a mistake before, right? And now you're begging God to make sure that it doesn't happen again. You don't want to be there, make the same mistake twice, because like, people will laugh at you. At this point, to him, it's more about people. But the funniest thing is that it's the same people that he was thinking of mocking when he was doing his business. So the next scene shows Benita, Teresa, and Jonathan on table eating. But Jonathan is unable to eat. He's worried. He's worried sick, about the business. And Teresa is wondering why is he not eating. At this point, Jonathan, all he wants is that they should call him to come and get his money. Unfortunately, it's not happening. So everybody is really worried for him, his family, his daughter is worried, and all the rest. And now remember, he's owing this guy 10 million, and all of a sudden when they were sitting, there's a bang on the door. This Benita wants to go and check, but Jonathan, eventually, he is the man of the house, he's the father. Eventually he wants to go and check because he knows that he's owing people and maybe those people might be worried. So, like, I really feel bad for him, but I think he needs to learn the hard way. His family is worried sick, especially his sister-in-law and his daughter. So the next scene shows Jonathan and Charles. This guy's name is Charles, the one that lent him the money, the 10 million naira. So the guy has been trying to reach him to no avail. Jonathan has been unavailable. He's not picking his call, and all the rest. And the guy is worried, even though this is a plan, but it needs to look like real. It needs to look real. So the guy is making Jonathan to understand that he's not here for joke. He's not joking. He needs his money. Like, Jonathan is trying to play a cool card, making the guy to understand that he's also waiting for money. But now this is the problem. You waiting for money, expecting money from a business that you've done has nothing to do with somebody who is looking for his money. Because at this point, this guy needs his money from Jonathan, because he gave Jonathan money and he needs Jonathan to give him back the money. So Jonathan is trying to beg him to wait, but the guy is not having it, and raising his voice. Jonathan has neighbor. Jonathan is trying to keep this appearance, based on the neighborhood where he's staying. But at this point, Charles is not having it. Charles have had enough because he's been trying to reach Jonathan, and Jonathan is not willing to pick up his call. Jonathan is playing deaf, and Charles is not liking it. So Jonathan is trying to make Charles understand that Charles just needs to take a chill pill and that he's going to get his money in no time. But Charles is not here for it. Charles is making Jonathan know because, like, thank God that there was a collateral and his car is a collateral. He signed those documents and he handed over his car particulars to Charles. And at this point, Charles is willing to come and get the car because, after all, at the end of the day, they sign. But that is a no-go area when it comes to Jonathan, because we all know that Jonathan does not play with his car. Jonathan's car is more like his child, his baby, as he calls it. And Jonathan will not hesitate to go to unleash his venom on Charles if he comes close to that car. But Charles also is not backing down. He's making Jonathan to understand that we signed, you signed those papers, and it doesn't matter what you do or how you do it. I'm going to get your car. You understand? If I don't have my money in 2 days. Now, like, as this is where it's interesting. Jonathan does not even know what to do and how to do it. Look, the best to him, the best thing that he can do is to chase away this guy. I don't know if he feels like if he chases Charles away, the money is just going, like Charles is going to forget about the debt. This is 10 million naira we are talking about. It is not 10,000 naira or 100,000. It is 10 million. So but Charles left promising to return to be back in 2 days, and Jonathan must fetch his money. So unfortunately for Jonathan, by the time he turned around, he realized that his family was there watching him like the loser that he is, because like they were all along they have been doubting where did he get the 10 million naira from. Now they can see finally where he got the money from, and it's a shame. It's an embarrassment that somebody went to the house to embarrass him like that. It's a pity. So Jonathan got so pissed because he didn't wanted his family to know about this, but now they found out. The next thing shows Teresa and Benita waiting for Jonathan inside, to talk to him. So as soon as Jonathan got back, they had tons of questions like, so is this the guy for the money? Like you have to answer to them. This is your family, you know. Jonathan is trying to play cool, he's trying to make it like, no, don't worry, guy, I got everything under control. He's just an unfortunate person, and all the rest. But I'm happy that he has a daughter who has a very sharp tongue. Yes. Benita will tell you things the way they are supposed to be told, the way she feels they are. They are. She was very disappointed at her dad, because to her dad is doing everything humanly possible, to destroy his own name. But we know how Jonathan is. Whenever you blame him, he sees it like he takes it in the wrong way, because to him Benita is behaving like her mother. That's how her mother scolds him and all the rest. It's only somebody who loves you that will tell you that your mouth stinks. Yes, it's somebody who wants you to change, they'll be able to tell you that this thing that you're doing is wrong. To Jonathan, they are not supposed to tell him anything. He has everything under control, whereas he has nothing under control. But one thing is certain that Benita is happy about is the fact that this situation will not take her father to jail, because it was just the car that he put as collateral. So they'll just have to come and carry the car and go with it. So it's fine. To her, at least it settles the matter. Hey, Jonathan. So the next thing shows Jonathan went somewhere, looking for someone, I guess the engineer. So he went to the engineer where him and the engineer met, like, the company and everything. But to his greatest shock, to his greatest surprise, Jonathan, that place where they went to, that was a furnished apartment, like those shortlet apartments, where they has everything, and all the rest. So like the engineer was just there because of business deal. It was never a company, even though it was decorated as a company. Jonathan was shocked the lies to find out that, that he might have been duped, because this guy is making him understand that I don't know you, I don't know if you came here or not, but there's no engineer here. He learned the hard way. He learned that place there has never been an engineer who lived there. Besides that, those are shortless apartments. Those are furnished apartments, for like they are hotels, but they are more like a home away from home. You understand? So Jonathan got confused, because this is like, that was not what he expected. That was not it. So the guy insisted that no engineer is there, and Jonathan like just realized that something is wrong. Everything has gone south, and he had to leave because he was not like he was not getting anywhere with the guy. The next thing shows Emeka, who is eating his chicken, roasted grilled chicken, and Jonathan is trying to talk to him, but Emeka is not listening. And Jonathan is pissed, because at this point, Jonathan is more like, guy, I'm explaining something about that this engineer is not picking my call. His phone is not going through, and nothing is happening. And you don't seem to do anything about it. You are not bothered. You're not worried. You're just sitting there. You're not saying anything. Guy, what's up? What's going on? Help me out here. Besides, you were the one who introduced me, to these people. Now, at that point, Emeka denied. You see how Peter, before they call, when Jesus Christ said, before they call crows 3 times, you would have denied me. That was how Emeka denied this guy. Emeka denied this guy and be like, guy, You didn't tell me anything. That was why I wanted you to tell me before supplying them. You didn't tell me, so I don't know anything. You understand? Because to him it was more like, if you had told me that I would have told you what to do. Because for your very first time, you don't do supply without collecting money. Why did you supply them without collecting money? And to Jonathan, it was crazy because the same thing that Emeka told him was what he did. Now Emeka is flipping the script on him, and turning everything upside down. This is crazy, like us. Emeka flipped the script on this guy. So right now he's not even trying to fight with Emeka. All he wants is for them to go and look for him. And all of a sudden, Emeka, a guy that he said he was his guy, all of a sudden Emeka doesn't know him. He doesn't know where he is. He cannot find him. It is none of his business. Jonathan should do what Jonathan has to do and keep him out of it. And Jonathan is confused because it was more like Emeka is denying him. At this point, Jonathan is like, guy, what's up? What are you talking about? What are you saying? Emeka made him to understand that, yes, you didn't involve me in the plan. Why did you involve me to collect your money? So to him, he wanted now to start blackmailing Jonathan emotionally, more like, so are you telling me that I did wrong to introduce you into this business? Whereas this is not what this guy is saying. What he's saying is that they should go and look for that guy so that he could collect his money. Because at this point, he needs to pay that 10 million and collect these car documents. So Emeka now is trying to be the type that, I don't know what is happening. It is none of my business. Jonathan is like, guy, it will be your business because you brought this business to me. You cannot sit there and be eating your chicken. And Jonathan had to pull him on his pants like, guy, let's go and look for this guy. There's nothing about you. You will not sit here and I don't know where my money is, where my money at and all the rest. So the next thing shows Benita and Teresa watching a movie, and Teresa is taking an example on Clara, who left her marriage, saying that look at how that woman is behaving the same way your mother was behaving. And as they were talking, they heard how the door was being slammed and everything. That was Emeka who just walked in, and they're even trying to find out why he's walking in with his shirt, holding his shirt and everything. Emeka was not even talking. Jonathan was not talking to them. Jonathan didn't have time. Benita is even trying to speak to her father. Her father was not concerned. It was none of his business. So this woman is trying to be like, Benita should leave him, let him be. And she's like, no. Because to her, this is her dad. If he has an issue, he needs to talk to them. Letting him be, what if he pushes him, the problem that he has, he pushes him to go and buy himself. This is her dad. She has only one that she cannot let her dad buy himself. So that's a good girl. She needs to go, and look after her dad, like look after him and find out what is going on. Teresa, you've not seen anything yet. Teresa is saying that every day there's one problem, one day one problem. The next thing shows Jonathan, who went into his bedroom, and he was so pissed. He went in, and was like, yeah, and his daughter came behind him. And she wanted to know what was going on with her father, because her father isn't saying anything, but he was very aggressive, wanting her to leave because right now he's not in the mood. And I love this girl because to her it's more like, I can't leave you. What if you do something to yourself? It's obvious that something is not right here. What is going on? He's not willing to say anything, but his daughter understands that he's not okay, and at this point she's not willing to let her father be. She's standing there to talk to him. You understand? So she's trying to find out if it's about the 10 million, that the guy is owing, like her father took from the guy, or what is going on. But Jonathan said, no, it's not the 10 million. It's just the engineer that he made the supply. He has not seen, like he cannot find the guy. Number one. And number two, Emeka was the one who introduced the guy to him and all the rest. And this girl, in as much as she's so young, but she's so intelligent. She's trying to ask her father that, can't you see that this Emeka you're always calling Emeka, your friend Emeka, can't you see that Emeka and Debbie are the same people? Like she wants her father to know that Emeka and Debbie are cut from the same cloth, that they are the same people. They are not straightforward. You understand? She's making her father understand that a maker is on this, that her father has been due, because she tried to investigate, ask her father, did you sign any contract with this guy? No. They gave you an, you like you received, you went and make a list and everything. He signed the other sheets and all. Are you sure he used his name to sign? Are you sure that was his original signature? Even if you meet up with this guy today, he doesn't owe you. There's no proof, there's no written agreement anywhere with his ID or anything. Do you know his real name? Did you go to the company? That was when his daughter was asking, like us, he was like ready to do money, to do pepper them, to make money, to do all of those things without thinking, without taking the necessary measures. He didn't sign any contract. He doesn't know, he didn't see it. The way they showed him was a short letter apartment, nothing, nothing, nothing. That was it. You understand? He didn't see any other thing else. And already you're talking about making money. So his daughter made him to understand that, Dad, I know you don't want to believe me, but one thing is certain. Emeka is the one who did all of this. Emeka is the one who duped you. Whether you believe it or not. Yes, because it's very obvious. He's the one who brought you the deal. He's the one who brought you everybody. The guy you lend money from. That was so easy. The company that gave you the other, like that placed the order for you to supply them, but you cannot find them. It doesn't ring a bell. Doesn't it ring a bell to you? And it started ringing the bell in the maker's head that his daughter might be right. Like us, honestly speaking, I have to end this video. One thing people need to know is that be very careful with the people that surround you, because I cannot lie to you. 90% of the time, the people that are prone to hurt you are the ones closer to you. They are the closest to you. People from far, they don't know your in and out. They don't know you. The one that knows you is the one inside. Those are the people that could easily hurt you. So be very careful. The same way you are watching your enemies outside, watch your friends closer than you even watch your enemies. I promise you. Yes, I promise you this. It is a sad thing that somebody close to you wants to ruin you, but it happens, unfortunately. Like us, protect your mental health, protect your surroundings, protect your peace. Yes, be careful. Watch out for people close to you, because they are the ones that will easily destroy you. So we have come to the end of the episode of today. This is the end of the second part. See you in 2 days. Bye. Take care of yourself.